splash zone here.
Wow. Well, look out. Welcome to Animal Kingdom, and now you can take your mask off to take a photo while you're stationary, and isn't that great? Now here is something that I haven't seen in a long time. Look at this open space here at Animal Kingdom. Wow! One day, when I have millions, I will be able to check out Harambe House. Until then, that's probably not gonna happen. The last time that I visited Animal Kingdom, this bridge was nearly impassable with the amount of people that were here. But now, there's nobody here. The sculpture that you see in front of me here, it took 2 days to create in approximately 40 tons of sand. Look at all that detail. You can check out the show Secrets of the Whales on Disney Plus. It'll be streaming on April 22nd, which I believe is Earth Day. So give that a look when it premieres. Well, this will be a Animal Kingdom first for me today. I'm going over to Creature Comforts, which has Starbucks. Let's see what I'm gonna get. Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a magical day.
Thank you, you too. Now this is the first time I'm trying the green tea matcha latte, and I got the 2 pumps of chai. Heard it was good, so. Oh wow, it's delicious. Unfortunately, you still cannot walk around the park with a drink. You have to remain stationary, which isn't a bad thing. You can stop, relax, enjoy a beverage. So that's what I'm gonna do. It looks like the booking agent is on break, and that they'll be back soon. Beware poachers. Poaching alert. Please report any evidence of poaching to the nearest ranger post. Do your part. Here are some of the huts in the line for the safari. Are there normally animals out in this area? I don't think I've ever seen any here before. Let me know.
Caribou, everyone. Caribou is what you're welcome. So, welcome aboard. That's not this on order. As we like to say here in Harambe, Twende, because Twende means, let's go. Welcome to the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, guys. My name is Matt, and I will be your safari tour guide for the next 2 weeks or so. We're going to go over a couple safety reminders real quick, so please keep all those arms, hands, feet, legs, babies inside the truck at all times. I encourage you guys to take photos. Just make sure the phones and cameras are staying inside the truck, because I cannot stop for anything that does fall off of this truck. That includes you, so make sure you're staying seated. It's a bumpy road out there. You don't want to fall out and become part of the reserve. Now, last time, those around you, those are coming in your rows. After you, face coverings, they are required for all guests through our entire safari. But with that being said, let's make our way right on into the Little Literaria Fort. It does have zebra-like legs, but they're not related in any way. Their closest relative is the giraffe, which you can kind of see in their head shape. Then there is the yellowback duiker over there by the stump. Now the yellowback duiker means diver. So whenever that animal gets scared, that yellow stripe on its back will puff up, it will let out a little scream, and then it will dive into the bushes. And they are the smallest of the antelope species, believe it or not. They're the smallest subspecies of antelope. But yeah, you can see the similarities from the giraffe in that okapi. It has a similar tongue as well. The okapi's tongue is around 18 inches long. This might be our best look of that black rhino off to your left there. That black rhino, he weighs around 3,000 pounds. And at no point will he be able to see us. Rhinos can only see around 5 to 10 feet away at best. They make up for it though with some great hearing. They have ears that can rotate in pretty much any direction. And they also have a fantastic sense of smell. Let's see, it looks like it's... Yeah, we're gonna get out of the splash zone here.
Wow. Well, look out.
Yeah, that black rhino has a great hearing, so as much as he couldn't see us, he definitely could smell and hear us. And there are some forest antelope just up this way. I'm seeing the greater kudu, the tallest antelope on the reserve, at around 55 inches at shoulders to hooves. And there's one to your right, but there's a few off to your left as well. Now, a group of hippos is called a bloat, but a bloat of hippos, they won't float. They're not very good swimmers. They actually walk along the bottom of the riverbed, coming up for air every 8 minutes or so. And on the island, there are the pink-backed pelicans. They have a wingspan of around 9 feet wide, which, if you look above you, the canopy of this truck is around 9 feet. They will turn pink during mating season. It's not exactly common to see them up on land. They really only get up onto the land when they're hungry. As you can see there, that one's hungry. Now those hippos, they are herbivores, but despite being a herbivore, they have the second strongest bite in the world. So that bite's going to be second to only these crocodiles. And these are the Nile crocodiles. They have the bone-crushing power of around 2,000 pounds per square inch in their jaws. And growing 16 to 20 feet long, they are incredibly strong. Now, despite that strength, they're really not the best hunters. They don't really have a lot of energy to chase after animals. They get pretty tired pretty quickly. However, if something were to get a little bit too close, they can move very quickly for a very short amount of time, and they're going to be able to catch their prey that way. Holding up to 7,000 gallons of water. And during the dry season, when a lot of rivers and lakes are starting to disappear, animals of all kinds are coming from all over and biting down onto that tree's branches and sticks. And they're sucking water out like a straw, getting the fluids they need to survive, which gives the baobab a nickname we might be familiar with. Is that baobab tree's nickname is the tree of life, because of how many different animals are going to be relying on it for survival. Now off to your left there is the hyena. Now the hyena gets a bad rap for being a scavenger, but they're not. They are very good hunters themselves. The reason people think that they're scavengers is because once they're done with their food, instead of leaving it there to rot, they will go off and bury it in the ground, saving it for later. So they're not scavengers, they just really like their leftovers. And we saw the crocodile with the strongest bite, the hippo with the second. These hyenas are tied for third, with the third strongest bite in the world, tied with none other than the lion. We're about to see a couple of termite mounds made out of mud, dung, and clay. Serve a couple important uses here, as the tall ones are used as back scratching posts, like the one on your left over here. Some of them look like that stump there by the giraffe. Those ones are used by smaller animals, like to jump up on top of them and use them as a perch to look out for their predators on the savannah. Maasai giraffe, it grows to be around 20 feet tall. But at birth, it's around 6 feet tall. It will be born with its mother standing up, which means a baby giraffe has a 6-foot drop straight to the ground when they're born. And speaking of baby giraffes, there haven't been a couple born here on the reserve in the last 6 months, so we'll have to keep our eyes out for any of those babies we might find. Springbok off to your right. Now the springbok, the brown-backed, white-bellied antelope there, they are very small, but they are very athletic. They're actually the third fastest land animal in the world, running at speeds of around 60 miles an hour. They can also jump around 6 feet straight in the air, and I personally like to call them the s'mores of the savannah. Kind of looks like they have a graham cracker back, a marshmallow belly, little chocolate chip down the middle as well. The babies right there. There's the 2 6-month-olds off to your left. Takes them about 3 years to get to full maturity, so they got some time. But that closest one there to your left, that's actually a juvenile. It's not even an adult. That one's about 2 years old. And here's the male Patterson eland. And you might notice that his horns are a little muddy. This is Ben. Ben likes to shove his horns in the ground and rip up anything he possibly can. Most of the time he's got some flowers or some vines or grass up in his head, and we call it his flower crown because he usually always has something in between his horns. And then the wildebeest. Now the wildebeest find comfort in numbers. They are migrating in herds up to 1.5 million wildebeest at a time. You're seeing 2 females and my man Ace over here to your left. He's the only male on the reserve. And then the greater flamingos. Now the greater flamingo get their pink coloring from their diet, mainly consisting of shrimp. So the more shrimp they eat, the pinker they will become. That's why we can actually find some black and white flamingos with a little bit of pink around the edges of their wings. Those ones are juveniles, around 10 months old. They'll turn fully pink at around 2 years, so they got a little bit of time before they get there. If you guys look closely at that island that they are all hanging around right there, that island there, it might be in a familiar shape. Just up ahead, I am seeing the fastest land animals in the world. It's going to be the cheetahs. They run at speeds of around 70 miles an hour. They can get up to speed in less than 3 seconds. But to get up to speed, a cheetah has to be very flexible, known to stretch their body out around 22 feet from front end to back end. And there they are to our forward left right there. Now, they will do all their hunting during the day. That's pretty odd for large cats. Pretty much every other large cat likes to do the hunting at night, using stealth to their advantage. But not the cheetah. They're using their speed during the day, but they can only run for about a minute or two at a time. They don't exactly have the greatest endurance. Oh, and I am seeing a lioness there on the edge. Something will grow up now. A group of lions is called a pride. Each pride consists of around 5 to 6 females, but there is always only one dominant male. They rest between 16 to 20 hours a day, coming alive at night. The females are going to go out and do all the hunting, while the male, he's going to stay back and protect the cubs from other animals. Now, when really wanting to be heard, a lion's roar can be heard from around 5 miles away. They are incredibly loud, and there's another female there to your left.
Well, I just finished up Everest, and that was a fun ride. It's always a fun ride. Yeah, not a long wait either. It was only about 10 minutes, and now I get to check out this view. The sun's starting to set. Heading out from Animal Kingdom now, it was great to be able to take off that mask for just a few seconds even, just to take the photo. It's a small step towards getting back to a little bit of normalcy. Can't wait until I can actually walk around without the mask. Definitely understand the precaution, totally on board with it, but it's gonna be amazing once things are completely back to normal at the parks. Can't wait. Until then, bye. Okay, bye. You just realized everybody left.